All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Nate, lead technical tactician for Monument Traders Alliance and Trade of the Day. And in today's video update, just kind of want to do a quick touch of the indexes. We are up and away, right? And I've got a setup that I'm looking at for this week. So with the indexes, a couple of things to note. Basically, we've been watching these daily squeezes. Okay. So what's happened recently is we had the Trump China spat day where the markets got smacked. And then we spent basically 2 weeks consolidating within that candle. Okay. Within that time, a daily squeeze developed, and that daily squeeze is now fire long. So, from here, where do we go? Well, we go higher, right? And that's sort of already happened, which is crazy. But we've now hit, get rid of these drawings, we've now hit both target one, which is here, and then yesterday, target two. So, I think today and perhaps tomorrow, Tuesday, it's like, what time is it? 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm recording this. So Tuesday, possibly Wednesday into the FOMC, we might just see some sideways action. We might see some rest. We might see some pause, some take a breath, right? Of course, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're up another 3% into the FOMC on Wednesday, but I kind of think, there's going to be names that move, but I think the indexes are going to take a little bit of a breather. And I could be dead wrong about that, okay? The one thing I don't want to do here is short. I have every day, when do we short? Where do we short? Where do we short? Well, right now we don't. This is not a short setup. If we zoom into a 30-minute chart and, let's just say, for example, today we kind of go like this, right? That's Tuesday. And then Wednesday is kind of like this. And we have this situation where we've got this sort of, head and shoulders look into Powell. Maybe there maybe we short. Maybe that's a setup. But right now, this is just, the markets are expending the energy that they've built up in through here, right? So there's nothing to do but be long. Names like Tesla, which looks amazing, right? This looks awesome. Names like Apple, which is up into new highs. Names like Nvidia, which, this daily chart looks amazing. Names like AVGO, this chart looks incredible. AMD, it just goes on and on and on and on. And I know I just mentioned a bunch of tech names, but that's where the money's flowing, right? So it is what it is. And I'm going to give you a non-tech name today, with the idea that, hey, maybe after the FOMC, maybe with all the big Mag 7, 5 of the Mag 7 earnings happening this week, maybe some money flows into other sectors. I don't know. We'll see. But the name that I like here is actually W. And as you can see, this little pre, right? It's up to $97 pre-market. Well, that's because they had earnings this morning. And if we zoom out at this chart in W, this is a chart that I've been sort of watching for a while to see if it can kind of break out of this base. And maybe now with the good earnings, it can. Okay. This thing has a ton of room to the upside if it wants to break over this $100, level. And I think basically with earnings, it may have the power to do that. The other thing that I want to point out is W has 20% short float. Okay. So not only do they now have an earnings win and a technical chart that looks like it could break out of this base, right? They also have a high short float. So pretty interesting. So what I want to do is, now I don't know where it's going to open. If it opens at 105, we're going to have to be patient. But ideally, if we could get like a little bit of a move down, right? Let's just pretend it opens at 96. I don't know. And let's say we get a little bit of a move down back to retest, to sort of back test these highs, right? Around 92. That for me would be a great entry. And I would add, if we came into these people, which is around 87, and then again around these people are 85, probably 82. That probably is, if we start to break below 87, then, we get the gap close. And if we can't hold there and bounce, let's probably cut it. So for me, the trade plan would look something like this. And I'll go out to November monthly options because there's no need to get cute. I don't need a lotto or anything on this. So we'll go with the $100 calls. So using the 11, 17, is it 17 or 21? It might be 21. I can't remember. 11, 21. My bad. Getting my expirations mixed up. All right, so 11, 21, $100 calls. Entry near, we'll say 92 to 95. stop on close under that gap close around 85, right? And then target. So this is actually where it gets interesting. This could get over 100 and run. So I'm going to say like target like 110, okay? Or more, just depending on how long you want to hold. So that's kind of the idea that I've got for you for this week. And if we look at this from a Fibonacci perspective, right, your targets are 97. We're already going to be at that pre-market, depending on where it opens. And then you've got this 103 up here. But I think this can actually go quite a bit higher based on the high short float. And like I said, this zoom out here, this weekly chart. Let me hide all these drawings real quick. You can kind of see this, right? This is a big base that it's breaking out of. And you can see this high right in through here around 93 lines up with these highs in through here. And it looks like we're going to break out above that. I would love to buy a retracement to about 93 this morning. That'd be pretty sweet. So anyway, that's what I've got. I hope it helps. I will get this drawn up and included in the updates. And I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Have a good one. Later.